So, good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmate. I'm Jane Arnado and John Kelsey Arombo are reporting about police system in Brunei. What is Brunei police system? The Brunei police force is called, gitawag siya og Police Diraha Brunei or Royal Brunei Police Force. It was established in 1921. So, na-establish siya pag 1921. Royal Brunei Police Force is a member of the Interpol. It is a member. So, isa siya ka member. So, ang ilang vision kay sama ki ara ki amanan dan ke silamatan yang berkekalan. So, which means to be a department with high capabilities in providing services needed and technical assistance towards permanent peace and security for the country. So ang ilang mission untuk midukong undang-undang dan menggikalkan ketertiban menurut kausayang diberikan oleh mana-mana undang-undang bertulis negara. So which means to provide logistic and technical needs immediately perfect and cost-effective to the team. Logistic department rules responsibilities to ensure sufficient needs of the team, to protect the asset of the team, to provide technical assistance, to prepare the country's development plan project, or to prepare the annual project, to prepare the annual budget. So, brief history of Royal Brunei Police Force in 1906. The signing of the 1906 treaty between Brunei, Darussalam, and United Kingdom laid down the foundation of new government with the formal introduction of the British resident. Among MacArthur's first act of the British resident was the introduction of the first officer to police Brunei. The first group was made up of one Patan and one Sikh. So na siya first group kanang gitunga siya sa one Patan and one Sikh before a detachment of the Sikh was seconded from the street settlement government in Labuan. These seconded officers from Labuan were eventually replaced by the local Malays. So, pag 1906, Sergeant Kami was appointed as the first chief police officer of Brunei. So, si Sergeant Kami was na-appoint siya as the first chief police officer sa Brunei. Pag 1917, the Brunei Police Force was founded under G. McAfee, who also continued as the chief police officer for Labuan. So, siya may nag-continue as the chief police officer for Labuan. So, Chief Inspector McAfee was appointed as the Brunei CPO. So, si Inspector McAfee na-appointed siya sa Brunei as CPO pag 1917. These seconded officer from Labuan were eventually replaced by the local Malays. So, pag 1917, Chief Inspector McAfee Brunei, CPO in 1917. Pag 1921, the Brunei Police was officially formed on January 1 pag 1921. So ang Brunei Police Force na officially jud siya form pag January 1, 1921. Immediately after the 1920 police enacted was passed. So pag 1950, the police headquarters was moved to Kuala Bilaet. So ang police headquarters nabalhin siya sa Kuala Bilaet and the CPO was answerable to the CP of Sarawak. Pag 1959, Commissioner of Police and no longer having to report the CP of Sarawak. So, the Royal Brunei Police Force is made up so na siya 6 police departments, 4 police districts, 13 police stations. Muto ang Royal Brunei Police Force na made up of. So, One of the key divisions for the Royal Police Force to manage general administrative affairs in the term of human resources, development, financial programs, and career of team members. So, naa siya ang Royal Police Force kay nag-manage of general administrative affairs o human resources para ma-develop. So, nasa siya yung mga financial programs and career of team members. So, nagbuhat sila mga organization na makaayos sa ilang police force, sa nila pag-implement mga financial programs, mo to siya. So, police use of force. The Royal Brunei Police Force, RBPF, is the primary law enforcement agency in Brunei. So, ang Royal Brunei Police Force kung usa ka primary law enforcement agency sa Brunei. The law on the Brunei Police Force does not address police use of force. Instead, the 1983 Public Act as amended authorizes the police to use such as police force. So, amended nila nga gamito sa police ang such as force as the circumstances of the case may be reasonably necessary, which may extend to the use of lethal weapons in order to arrest any person in an assembly who fails to comply with any order to disappear or to stop at or before reaching any barriers erected or placed under the act of to arrest any person who is reasonably suspected of having committed a criminal offenses to overcome forcible resistance offered by any person to such arrest or to prevent the escape from arrest or the rescue of any person so arrested. Moto siya ang police use of force sa Brunei system, sa Brunei police system.
So, good morning everyone. Once again, I am Gentle Arombo. I am here to continue the reporting of police system in Brunei. So, Department of Criminal Investigation and Intelligence. First, to provide time and accurate criminal intelligence. So, pasabot ani is to what do we call this one? Para madali ang pagresponde if na ay criminal cases sa usa ka lugar. Second is to provide crime statistics and daily crime reports. So it means nga ug naagay crime nga mahitabo, magamay man na or madako, kinahanglan jud siya i-report urgently. So third, to prepare threat assessment and intelligence reports, among others, on crime situations, national events, state visits by VVIPs, and many more. So, it means nga, kanang, once ganina ay mo visit sa usa ka, for example, sa Brunei, i-secure nila ang safety sa ato ang visitors, labi na sa ato mga VIP, very important persons, kung naamay atong mga events. Then, fourth, to monitor and analyze local and international current affairs which may pose a security threat to the country. So, means ani, i-secure nila ang for example, Brunei, i-secure nila ang ilahang country sa mga possible threat from the other nations. To issue security passes and process crime scene film and photographs. So it means nga kinahanglan jud nga mo take of films, then mga photos once gani nga naa sa crime scene, kay importante kayo na mga photography, videography and sketch sa usa ka crime scene. Then so moving on 1921, the Brunei Police was officially formed on January 1, 1921. So, immediately after the 1920, police enactment was passed. So, na-pass siya within 1921. The local force took overall responsibilities for the police force of the Straits Settlement. So, moving on. In 1950, the police headquarters was moved to Kuala Belait, and the CPO was answerable to the CP of Sarawak rather. On 1959, with the introduction of Brunei's own constitution, this required the Sultanate to have its own commissioner of police and no longer having to report to the CP Sarawak. Then moving on to Brunei police ranks from the highest rank officer to the lowest. So Brunei police ranks from the highest rank officer to the lowest. So it will be start from the highest, which is Inspector General of Police. Then second to the highest one is Deputy Inspector General of Police. Then it will be Commissioner. Then the lower rank of the Commissioner is Deputy Commissioner. And the lower is Senior Assistant Commissioner. Then before you become Senior Assistant Commissioner, you will be Assistant Commissioner. Then the lower rank of the Assistant Commissioner, you will be Senior Superintendent. And before you become a Senior Superintendent, you will be a Superintendent, as you can see the logo from above. Then before you hire as a Superintendent, you will be a Deputy Superintendent. Then the lower rank will be Chief Inspector, then Senior Inspector. Then the lower rank is the Inspector. Before you become an Inspector, you will be a Probationary Inspector, then Cadet Inspector, Sergeant Major. Then the lower rank of a Sergeant Major will be Staff Sergeant, and the lower rank of a Staff Sergeant will be Sergeant, and Corporal. And last but not the least, the lowest rank will be Lance Corporal. So this is the highest rank in police officers in Brunei. First, the highest rank will be Inspector General of Police, and the second highest rank of police officer rather in Brunei is the Commissioner of Police, and the third highest rank in the police officers in Brunei is Deputy Commissioner of Police. Then moving on to conclusions. So the conclusion will be the Brunei country, despite being a rich, small, developing country with a plentiful resources. So it means nga gamay ra ang Brunei, but they have a lot of resources of their country. Then kaansid sila kanang convenient kayo sila, kanang masalikan kayo sila once resources na ang hisgutan. Then limited industrialization. As a conservative society with the strict religious practices, it still has its own environment problems. So bisag unsa pa ni sila kanang sagana kayo sa mga resources, then bisag gamay ra kayo sila, naadya pon sila problema sa ilahang nation. Then we discussed about the policing system of Brunei that contributes to the Brunei enactment and also their mission and vision, and it thus affects. So the whole nation of Brunei has also Brunei people is responsible in all aspects of operations in the area of security and control, aside from playing the role. So ang pasabot na ini, the whole nation of Brunei has Brunei people is responsible of all aspects. So it means ani nga naay duty ang usa ka tawo sa Brunei, even though nga kuan sila civilians, na sila duty nga ma-contribute nila para sa ilahang country, in ana ka convenient ang Brunei. So kuan jud wala jud kanang patas jud ang tanan. So that would be all our discussion. Thank you for listening. Once again, I am Jantel Arombo with my co-reporter Glyceril Arnado. So thank you guys. Hope you learn more. something today, and goodbye.